What's going on, guys? Yankee Cowboy here. As promised, I had a firearm cleaning video I've been wanting to do for a while. I did one recently. Well, not recently. I did one a while back on this ultrasonic cleaner. But we're going to get a little closer, and I want to show you exactly how well this thing works. I mean, I did it in my last video, but this is the primary thing I use when I clean my guns, with the exception of my long guns. Well, we'll get into that because there's some new products I want to talk about. But I'm going to be doing the 1858 New Army, excuse me, that I got right here. Only for the fact that, other than my gas cylinder on my Browning shotgun, this is the second thing that gets the dirtiest out of everything that I shoot. But with that being said, everything else that I shoot, I can take the bolts out of all my guns and put all those parts in this ultrasonic cleaner, and it just comes out fantastic. So I use Pyrex pellets in this, which have sulfur in it, and as you guys know, that makes any of these black powder guns foul up pretty bad. I'll show you guys the cylinder up close, how dirty this thing is. You guys saw my last video of me shooting it. It's just filthy. The whole gun is filthy, the body of it. That I'll just wipe down, that's no problem. But we're going to pull this cylinder out. We'll clean that in the ultrasonic cleaner. And as far as the barrel goes and all that, I'm not going to show that up close, but I'm going to show you some new products and what I do use to clean it. And it just comes out fantastic. So without making this video a two-part, I'm going to try and touch base on all the important things on cleaning your firearm. And for me, one of the most important things is having an ultrasonic cleaner. So that's the most important thing you can have. And then the new products I'll be talking about in a second, for as far as your barrel goes and the bores and all that. We'll talk about that after we're done. So we're going to get in close here. I'm going to show you guys how to fill this up, what to put in it, and we'll take the cylinder out of the 1858 and we'll throw it in there. The only thing I'm not going to do, guys, I'm not going to show the timer counting down. Some people shoot a video and they'll fast forward what you watching the timer. That's kind of a waste of your time. I'm not going to cheat anything. It's going to go in there, it's going to come out. You guys are going to see exactly, you know, how clean it is and what it could do. But I'm not going to fast forward through this thing counting down. So let's get situated. We'll fill this thing up and we'll get started. Alright, so we're up close now. You guys can see what's going on. First thing we're going to do is wipe the dust off the lid there. We're going to open it up. What you got inside is just a basket, and you got a stainless drum in here. So I'll put the basket back in. Now what I use to clean here, you could buy at Home Depot. This is ZEP 50. All it is it's a degreaser. You can use Ballistol. Ballistol is great. This is actually a new product I've been using, and this you can actually use in your ultrasonic cleaner. I just don't want to waste it. This stuff is fantastic. I use this on the guns, and I'll be using that on this 1858 when I'm done. So let me drop the barrel out of this, the cylinder out of this first. Open this up. All right, now this gun is filthy, guys. I don't know if you could see it that well, but you'll be able to see the cylinder. You can see all the fouling on it. See that finger mark? It's filthy, guys. Quite a few rounds went through this thing, as you guys saw, and it's just filthy. So we're going to take care of that. But first thing I do is, like I said, this ZEP 50 you can get at Home Depot. It's just a degreaser. I just pour it in. I don't know, say about a quarter of a cup. I'll put in there. Let me plug this ultrasonic cleaner in so I can get it heated up. It's got a heat function. I turn the heat on. I leave it on normal. There's a degas mode that supposedly, you know, does a little pre-cleaning to it. I don't use the degas because it works so good I don't have to. And then the next thing we're going to do is take a pan of hot water without splashing it all over my coffee, and pour this in. You gotta get enough in there to cover the cylinder, which I don't think I got, so I may have to put more in. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's not covering it, guys. I gotta get some more water. Alright, excuse me for a second while I go grab some more water, and then we'll get started on this. Alright, sorry about that, guys. First thing you do is make sure you got enough water first before you do anything else. Alright, so this thing's in there now. Let me have a quick sip of my coffee. Alright. So that's in there. It's set for 5 minutes. I usually don't need to go over 5 minutes. You know, sometimes it might take 9 minutes. Halfway through at about 250, I'll pull it up, and I'll just use my brush and just brush off some of the loose stuff, and then I'll set it back in there for the rest of the 5 minutes. But I'm gonna get up close here with the camera, see if I can get the bubbles. Let's start it up. All right, hold on. Let me shut that off. Let me take the camera off the tripod here for a second without getting too bumpy. See if I can do this. Okay. All right, I want you guys to see how the powder starts coming off immediately. See that powder coming right up to the top? Starts working pretty much immediately. I don't know if you guys could tell, but it's definitely coming off. I'll try and get these bubbles out of the way so you can see. But you can see all the powder coming up and out of it. See that coming out of the back? All that powder is coming out of the nipples in the back. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the cover on it. Like I said, and let this thing run to about 250. I'll pull it up and I'll give it a little quick brushing. And then throw it back in for the other 250 and it should be done. Now as far as the gun here, I'm going to use the ballistol. It'll wipe all this clean. It'll come right off. This whole thing will be all cleaned up. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about some new products. And we'll go over that and how I clean the bore of this gun. Instead of using your traditional bore brushes in my kit over there. I mean, I will use some of that stuff sometimes if there's some really heavy fouling. Maybe do a pre-cleaning with that. But when we talk about the new products, you guys will see what I'm talking about and how well that'll work. See, this gets all condensation in there. It just keeps the heat in nice. It makes the action inside work a little better. If you ain't got one of these cleaners, guys, next time you see one on sale, I mean, Harbor Freight even sells these. I don't know how good they are. I caught this one on sale at, guess where I caught it on sale, guys? At Cabela's. So I got this one on sale at Cabela's. Actually, there's a short story on this. I'll tell you really quick while this is going. They had one on sale for 70 bucks. It was regularly 100 bucks. This was the last one on the end cap. I grabbed it, brought it downstairs. It rang up like 200 bucks or whatever the hell the price was. It wasn't the right model, but they honored it and they gave it to me. The other one was a smaller one that was on sale and they sold out. Actually, I can feel the heat on this with my hand now, guys. So I ended up scoring this one for actually a really good price. But if you can get your hands on one of these, this takes a lot of legwork out of cleaning your firearms. Trust me when I tell you. All right, we're below the 250 mark, guys. I'm going to cut camera right here quick so I can pull this up and give it a quick brushing. I don't think you guys want to see this. So we'll be back in a flash. Actually, guys, I should have kept the camera rolling while I did that. As you can see the timer, I'm not screwing you guys. I don't ever lie to you guys. 2:02. So I didn't do anything goofy behind the camera when I cut camera. The thing was so clean already. It's practically done now, but we're going to finish it up. My only wish is I bought one that's big enough to fit the whole firearm in. But, you know, unfortunately, you got to take things apart because you never want to trap moisture in your firearm. That's rule number one, because that's just going to be a recipe for rust, disaster, misfire. You never want to have your firearm not go boom when you pull the trigger, because you know, it could be the difference between life and death when you need it. But this thing here would have to be really taken apart well and everything dried and lubricated before you put it back together, like any other firearm. But this one here, there's not much else going on. I'll wipe this all up with the ballistol and this will come out mint. I may even hit it with a little bit of ZEP 45. I could take this piece out and put it in the ultrasonic, but it's not really that dirty. This only pushes the ball in. Main things that get dirty on this one, guys, is obviously inside the barrel and this back portion here. But this is no big deal to clean up with the ballistol. I take a Q-tip and just clean that up, and that's fine. And this thing will be, you know, good as new. There's half cock, full cock, and fire. So, not too bad. But once this is done cleaning, it's got about another 50 seconds. I'll pull it out and dry it off. I'll show you guys up close. And then we'll talk about some new products, and then we'll finish up this video. I didn't want to make this a long, drawn-out thing because there's really not a whole lot to draw it out about. It's just a fantastic cleaner. This is what you need. This is how you use it. Make sure you got yourself a brush, something you could clean the part with, and then drop it back in. Forget about using these traditional cleaners here. You really don't need this, guys. If you got an ultrasonic, I hope you guys can hear me. My furnace just kicked on. I mean, I do use this. This is a good kit. Has everything in it. It does have its purpose, but it really seldom gets used now. And I'll show you why it doesn't anymore when we talk about the new products I'm talking about. You guys probably may have already guessed what I'm talking about. All right, this is done. Let me shut my furnace off, guys. All right, sorry about that. All right, so this is all done. We're gonna lift it up out of here. Take your cover off. Now what you do is you turn this basket, there's a notch in here. So the basket sits up top and you can let your parts drain out. That's what I'll usually do. I'll let it drain out for a second. And normally I'll go run this under water and just clean it off, but because you get some soap residue in there. Wow, guys, I wish you guys could be here live to see how clean this is. I mean, you could have Sunday dinner off of this thing. It's so clean right now. You guys saw what it looked like before. Look at it now. Where I have rubbed my hand on it, there was all kinds of residue. This thing is, I'm telling you, you could eat Sunday macaroni off this friggin' cylinder. Look at it. It's spotless. Look at where the nipples go. This part gets really dirty, guys, from the from your primers. This is where all the fouling and most of the crap happens, and this thing is it's just perfect. Hopefully you guys get a really good look at that and maybe see inside the cylinders here a little bit. Look at that center cylinder. It's beautiful. That nick right there is where I dropped this cylinder on my basement floor, but still fires fine. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's just fantastic to use. And again, with the shotgun parts, gas cylinders, you guys know how bad those are to clean. Those are a pain in the ass. I throw my gas cylinder from my Browning in here, that thing comes out immaculate. All right, so you guys seen that? That's a wrap on that. Now we're gonna put all this stuff aside. I'm gonna break out some new products, so we'll be back in a flash. All right, it's time to talk new products, but before we even get into that, as you can see them on the table, you probably guessed what it is. I wiped this whole gun down and cleaned it with the ballistol. It looks like brand new, guys. You can do the wood and everything with this. I mean, it cleans, lubricates, and protects. Look at this thing, it's like butter. Absolute butter. Look inside the face there. Remember how dirty that face was inside there? All clean and just wiping it with this cloth, just a normal face cloth. This is the small little spot that I used and sprayed a tiny bit of ballistol on. Now let me tell you guys, ballistol stinks. Some people like the smell of it. It smells like sweat and cheese. It's friggin' nasty, but then it has a mint kind of smell to it towards the end. But with all that nasty smelling stuff aside, this thing just came out beautiful, other than the bore. The bore has to be done yet, and that's what we're going to talk about next. But this is all cleaned and lubricated and all nicey nice. So is the cylinder. So let's throw this cylinder back in quick. Now right side, left side, I'm sorry guys. Just pop it in there, get it centered. Throw your pin. That's ready to go. Throw it back in the holster. This thing's ready for the range again now. All right, now real quick before I even get into the new stuff, the ballistol, like I said, if you want to use that for your ultrasonic cleaner, all your mix ratios are right here. Smokeless residue, you'll use 100% ballistol. Black powder, you're going to use 25% ballistol and 75% water. Like I said, I'm not wasting it on that. I use this EP45, works good. Neutralize corrosive ammo residue, 10% ballistol and 90% water. You could also mix up a spray of this to clean light residue off of things. Jet wash and ultrasonic cleaner is 10% ballistol to 90% water. So if I put 2 cups in there, it would have been just, a drop of this. Electrical equipment you could do with this, boring and cutting oil. I mean, marine, knives, leather. You can put this on leather, on your boots, home and garden, firearms, black powder, road and trail, lubricant, auto, motorcycles, bicycles. I mean, it does it all. This cleans, lubricates, and protects all in one shot. I've tried a bunch of them, the break free and all that stuff. I'll tell you what, this hands down is the best new product. I mean, you see how good this thing looks. It's like brand new. Just wiping it with a cloth. No scrubbing with the brushes, no going crazy. Now, finally, let's get into the new products, the bore cleaning. How do you clean the bore? The most important part. Well, I've seen these things for a while now, and I've been pretty skeptical of them. These are bore snakes. I'm like, I thought it was a come on. But I watched a few videos on it. I talked to a few guys at the range. People swear by them. I said, let me try them. They're cheap enough. I picked these up at Walmart. They were like 12 bucks a piece. And what this is, it's a all-in-one system, which is kind of nice. Now, usually when you use the rods in my other cleaner there, you'll be pushing all the debris towards the action of your gun, and that, you don't want that. You want to get the action clean. You want to get the bore clean. What this does is you'll point your barrel down. You'll drop this little brass slug in there, and this will go down in there. And then what happens is I'll spray some ballistol on there. It's got brushes on there, as you can see. So it starts going through, so it brushes the bore, and then it cleans it all the way through on the way out. I've already cleaned my 12 gauge with this, and it was spotless. So you'll pull that through a couple of times, depending on how dirty it is, and then I'll take a patch. If I really want to get nuts with it, I'll take a patch with my other cleaner and throw a little ballistol and give it one last lube. But you really don't need to. It leaves a nice trail of lubricant behind it, because the back part, it's clean by the time it's done. So this is 12 gauge. I got one for my 7.62 by 39, the new gun I just picked up. I just need to get one for my 40, for my Kel-Tec 40. I need to get one for the M&P 22, and I'm done. The rest of them, the handguns and stuff, I could do with the brushes. There's really no need for a bore snake for those small ones, even though they do sell them, and maybe I will get it, maybe I won't. But these are so easy enough to do with the brush. You don't have to put 2 rods together. You put one brush on there with 1 rod and run it through your handguns, and you're done. But as far as long guns go, I'm really glad I picked up these bore snakes. I can't say enough about these bore snakes. They work fantastic. I mean, I shoot a lot of trap, as you guys know, and I keep my guns in fairly good condition, but you can see there's only minimum amount of residue on this bore snake. It does its job. You can see the brush has got some fouling on it. They pick up all the heavy stuff, and then as you get to the tail end of this, it gets clean towards the end, and it leaves a nice trail of lube on the end. So pretty happy with those guys. I think they work really good. Between the ultrasonic cleaner and these bore snakes, it's a home run. Cleaning your firearms, you could get it done in a half an hour, and that's what, having a coffee like I am, shooting the shit, I'm having a vape, relaxing. It's enjoying to clean my firearms now, where before I dread cleaning them, taking out all those rods, screwing them together, go through with the brush, unscrew that, screw the cotton one on, then screw the patch one on. It's like, come on. So the bore snake just eliminates all that crap. I really can't believe how good it works. And ballistol, again, I can't believe how good that works. I mean, look at this thing shining like a brand new coin. This thing is just absolutely beautiful. The cylinder is just so clean. It's awesome. So again, I can't say enough about the ultrasonic, the bore snakes, the ballistol. This is this is all you're going to need to clean your guns in record time and actually enjoy cleaning them. So, all right, let's wrap this video up, guys. All right, guys. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much with this video, and hopefully you got the gist of how this system works and how I clean the firearms. And I think it's the best system there is to clean them. Like I said, rather than going through putting the sticks and changing the patch, the brush, the cotton. It's just a pain in the ass. I don't want to keep repeating myself here, but that's just how it is. That's a pain in the ass system. You guys all know that. The ultrasonic, the ballistol, these bore snakes, I can't say enough. And these stow pretty easy, guys. They go right back in the package, nice and neat. You just roll them up, wrap the string around it. It's got a hole in it. You can hang it on your pegboard, hang it in your gun safe, whatever you want. And that's that. So hopefully you guys got the gist of this video, and you know, hopefully you guys try this system and see how it works for yourselves. If you're lucky enough to pick up an ultrasonic cleaner. If you don't, I still recommend the ballistol and wiping it with a little bit of a brush, and maybe use some of that Zep anyway without an ultrasonic cleaner, or probably do better than sitting there with them brushes. It takes a lot of the legwork out. Get yourself some hot water, mix up the Zep in hot water, or mix up the ballistol in hot water, and clean your firearm, and try it that way if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner. But hopefully this wasn't a boring video and you guys got the gist of this, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So if you have any questions on the bore snakes, the ultrasonic cleaner, the ballistol, or anything that I did here today or I may have missed, feel free to leave a comment below. Hit me up on my Facebook page. You guys can PM me, you can leave stuff there, comments. I'll be posting stuff there as well. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. That's a wrap on this. And any questions or comments, again, leave them below. As always, thanks for watching The Total Outdoors with the Yankee Cowboy.